announcements. And
Thing is, we didn't see Darren for 2 days. Much at all.
It'll take more than margaritas
I want to speak. Don't touch me right now.
to fix this fiesta.
Oh, that is not the Jackie.
There's a new girl about to surface.
Whoa. You ain't Jackie, man. You did something wrong.
Buddy, you had guys naked with their stuff out. You and
I
you
didn't touch no
and you
naked
stayed there.
Come in, let me see. Let me see. Okay.
I think I'm getting too much money.
Oh!
Everybody next.
Oh, child. Ooh, child. Technology. There we go. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Tanya and I had a good groove going. I so apologize. Let's get Tanya back. Thank you guys so much for coming back to Bossip's Reality Recap. Really appreciate that. Hang on.
Don't worry, we got our groove back.
I was like, well, this is embarrassing.
We got our groove back.
There we go. All right. Somebody said a Teddy Riley moment. Exactly. Look like Teddy Riley out here.
Oh, no. Guys, don't. We did not have a Teddy Riley moment.
It wasn't
we were
that
well
bad.
beyond that, y'all.
It wasn't that bad. Okay. All right. So we're talking about your background before Real Housewives.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll fast forward a bit. Anyway, so long story short, that's how I really got into technology. And then I've spent the past couple of years, we built a technology incubator and fund here in Atlanta called Tech Square Labs. It was right in the heart of Georgia Tech campus. Mm-hmm. And basically our goal was to help more early stage entrepreneurs become successful, build scalable, high growth technology companies. And so I've been doing that. I run a lot of business accelerators for, in particular, underrepresented founders here in Atlanta. Okay. Ascend Atlanta is one of them. So we're just finishing our third cohort right now, and we've put over 90 founders through that program. Nice. Many of them have gone on to raise capital, continue their businesses. So that's kind of how I got into it. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody in the comments said, give Tanya a peach already. But I feel like...
Guys, I feel like I have peaches. I don't need any more.
The peaches are here. What more do you want? I feel like didn't I hear that you turned down the peach, essentially?
So here's what happened, guys. Like, and this is the thing, you know, when you have sort of a contentment in your life and that analogy that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Although I'm constantly striving to better myself, I love my life. And so I do a lot of really amazing things. And I liked the idea of having autonomy. I've been an entrepreneur and working in the entrepreneur field for a long time. So the ability to be able to say, oh, I run my own schedule. I can show up here. I can't show up here. The friend allows me to do that. So say what you want, guys, if people are like, okay, but I like being a friend. I like being able to say,
you can still do your thing.
And that's fine. I think it works for me. I'm never going to say never, but last year it was the best thing. The first year I did it was also the best thing. So I'm cool.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this reunion because it airs on Sunday. And I know, girl, I think everybody was worried that it wasn't going to be the same because it had to be virtual, right? But from what I've seen from those preview clips, it still got pretty spicy.
Okay, guys. It was psycho. It was so crazy.
Really?
It was really crazy. So here's the thing. This is my second reunion. My first reunion last year was kind of like, you know, getting your cherry popped. It was season 1. It was crazy enough as is. I had my own fair share of things that I had gotten into with people. And now fast forward the second year, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here again.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the hardest part for me was it was during this pandemic. So to like wrap your head around the scale of stuff that was going on in the world and then to come back and be like, I got to like duke it out in my own personal like living room, right? Which, you know, we've been stuck in our houses for so long that like my home is like it's a comfortable place for me. It's like, you know, we've been in it.
Peace.
And so it was really hard to like get in the mode of like, I want to not read like book club read, like read you bitches. Yeah, it was really hard. It was really difficult. But then like you get in there and you just get mad again. I like was getting mad about stuff that had been, you know, bubbling up, and you want your chance to have your say. So
girl,
guys, it was crazy.
I'm so looking forward to it. First of all, I saw what you were wearing. Tell us about this ensemble. I saw some Chanel. I saw the whites.
So here's the thing. We had already had a theme where it was going to be sort of like Greek inspired, guys. Yes. If you haven't caught on to that, they tend to try and tie it to our tips. Mm-hmm. So when it got canceled, I had this like amazing gown that was incredibly expensive. And now it's like, we're not going to see it. It's going to be nips up. I was like, that gown goes back, and putting that money right back into something else. So I returned the gown and I was like, it's not worth it, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, something is coming out of my closet. And so they kind of gave us more free reign to wear whatever we wanted. So we all ended up at the end of the day in white. I wore a gown that was completely recycled. I'd actually worn it to the Kate's Club is this nonprofit that I'm on the board of. So I wore it last year to the Kate's Club Gala, where I went with both Portia and Eva. They came to support. And so it was recycled. It's from a designer called the House of Chicago, which I wear a lot. I really like their dresses. I slapped a Chanel belt on it because it just needed to like pull in the waist a little bit.
A little cinch in there.
A little cinchy. And like, that was it. Like, we sat down in our chairs the whole time. There was no walk up. There was no walk on. So it worked. And then, you know, we're at home. It's quarantine time. So you can't have a team of people helping you out. It's like me and Paul. Like, Paul was amazing because, you know, it's a long day. And he's like, I was like, is my light okay? Like, help me do this. Like, we had to like stage our whole home. So it was,
In your opinion, because you are our fashionista on the show, who was best dressed? Are you best dressed? Did someone else really bring it during the show?
Okay, so you guys are gonna think I'm biased, and you're gonna, you know, be like, "Oh my gosh, you said Portia," but I'm gonna say Portia because Portia like made me laugh the whole time because she was giving me these super sexy, like she had this corset, and like sometimes she'd have this negligee over her shoulder, and like I feel like half the time she was like lying perched like Mariah Carey, and so I feel like she was in character and gave me the vibe the whole time because you never want to show up and be like, "Oh damn, that girl's," you know. But I was like, Portia was really great.
Right. So first of all, once again, y'all, if y'all are watching this is Boss's Reality Recap. I am Danny Canada. This is Tanya Sam from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Please leave us some questions in our question box. We would love to interact with you and get your questions answered. Oh, Tanya. So it's so funny you brought up your fiance, Paul, because I was watching the after show and Portia did this impression about Paul. I was talking to
the Cookie Lady's Paul.
The Cookie Lady and Paul. So, okay. Nene herself said that she was upset that Giovanna could come to the reunion, but they didn't bring your fiance and they didn't bring the Cookie Lady.
They didn't bring a lot of people. They didn't bring any guys.
Okay. So what did you feel about that? Were you okay with not being able to have them there to share their perspective?
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. And here's the thing, Paul's like, at this point, he's like, why I wasn't on this program for the whole time. Why would I show up now to say what? And he was like, babe, you got this, you know.
Right.
Okay. So I wasn't. I wasn't mad about that.
Did you get a chance to talk to Kenya about that whole thing? Because the whole thing was super foul.
Oh, for sure. And like, that's the whole point of reunion. You need to, like, even if it's like, you know, months later, to be able to hash out that stuff and be like, you were wrong. Right. This is how I felt. Your actions were like vile.
It was extreme because we are Black, and she dropped the C word, and I was like, I don't know anybody who's just casually being like, "You are a CUNT." I was like, well,
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, here's the thing about that. I mean, I get the back and forth of like, okay, we're sparring in this, but literally that took my breath away. I was like, because I feel like nobody. Here's the thing, especially me. I don't know anybody who really uses that word. Right. So that had to come from somewhere like deep inside you. It's literally like a karate chop to the gut. And I was like, oh,
I'm okay.
Yeah, it really, like, honestly, at the time I was like, wow, like, you really mean it. It's not like you're just like, oh, you know, everybody, I think on the show, they'll be like, bitch, 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 right? But like, CUNT, like, that comes from somewhere different.
It was a bit, and I was just like, I still don't understand why she was so mad about the wig. Like, I heard what she said, and she was like, you were trying to discredit my brand and take food out of my daughter's mouth. But I'm like, it's a wig. Everybody wears a wig. Who cares? Like, I just thought it was extreme. I still don't understand why she's so upset.
I don't know either. And I mean, I said the same thing over and over again. I was like, look, there's so many things that, you know, I mean, I'm on a show it's a reality show about all Black women.
Right.
I don't know one Black woman that doesn't talk about their hair. Like, that is a safe space. Like, if we can't talk about that, what are we going to talk about? Like, my bundles are fake. My bundles are this. You can see my track. Like, it's real life. You could see people's tracks. And so part of it was, I don't know why she felt exposed about it. Maybe because she had just, you know, previously denied it. But here's the thing I always said, like, if you had alopecia, for example, and you know, it was something sensitive, I would have stayed away from it out of respect for maybe a health condition. But clearly you've got long locks, everyone knows it. So it didn't seem like a big deal to me. And I always thought it was funny how people were like, Tanya, that's your freaking tea, a wig? Like, that is so whack. And I was like, yeah, I thought it was funny. It was like my form of funny, right?
Exactly. It was fun shade, right?
Yeah,
fun
like,
shade.
come on.
Girl, we'll get back to the fun shade because I got some questions about that. But okay, let's get into some of these questions in our question box for Miss Tanya. What do you guys want to know?
Ooh.
Let's see. Yes, I did do my own makeup. Thank you so much.
It looks really good.
Thank you. Here, somebody said, "Who's lying about Snakegate? Yo-Yo,
Oh my gosh, guys!
Not Yo-Yo.
Snakegate. I mean, that one you just have to tune into the reunion. Like, that's all I gotta say. Yeah. Like, I mean, tune into the reunion. I really can't. I'm just.
Are you
guys,
glad
Snakegate was nuts. It was really nuts.
So when all that blew up in Toronto, are you glad that you weren't there in that room for that moment? Because it got crazy. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it. Like, literally, you know, I mean, the Toronto trip for me, I was literally on cloud 1,000. You know, I got the girls there. I was so excited. They're in my hometown. And I was like, this is fun. And I mean, for the whole weekend, I was like, nobody's going to rain on my parade, guys. We are going to have fun. I had it planned down to the T, right? Like, I mean, even from going on the CN Tower where I was like, kumbaya, we're going to come together through this near-death experience. Like, we're going to have fun. So at the end of that night, I wanted to be able to invite all my friends from home. So like that party we had, I'd sent out messages and emails like in advance to like friends, family, like there were like 80-year-olds there to like 18-year-olds. So I was like, okay, everything felt good. I was like, you guys go back. I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to see you in a bit. So by the time I got back, I was calling people's phones and I was like, oh, okay. They just went to bed. I had no idea at that point that it was like no, seriously.
Really?
I went to bed. We were all drunk. Like I was drunk at that party. That was the problem, right? Yeah. And then I wake up in the morning and it was like, you know, when you wake up, you're like, oh, okay, it was early. You got to get dressed for the parade and stuff. Like, what the hell? Messages, missed calls. Like you knew something went down. Right. And I was like shocked.
Who was the first person to call you? Was it Portia?
Everybody, every single one of those girls was calling me. Like at that point, every single one of them was like, girl. And I mean, I was like, what happened? Like, yes. It was crazy.
Whole thing was just a mess. It just turned into something so nasty that I think it didn't have to be.
I mean, I can't believe. And I mean, there's this much of me that was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I missed out. Because like you look at Greece and in Greece, like I just remember being like, everybody, what's happening? Right? Like I freak out and I'm like, stop. So I'm kind of glad I wasn't there, but yeah.
Right. Girl, it was a mess. All right. Couple more questions and then I have a little game for us to play. All right. Someone said, Tanya, did you do your own makeup for the reunion?
Oh, my own makeup. Guys, I had some help. I had someone come in with an N95. My warden, Paul, let someone come in for 30 minutes and help me. I'm not sure it's going to work. Pardon?
I said your warden, Paul, that you have someone come
Oh yeah, we've had nobody in and out, and I begged because like we're on the same page as far as like quarantining, and we've been very strict. Like I haven't even let my sister social distances with me because she's a doctor and she's in the hospital, so we're like that's about it. We've like used our car twice to get groceries. Most of our stuff is delivered, and I was begging him because that's like that the city had opened up officially.
Yeah.
And so I mean the crazy thing is I was watching my makeup artist on Instagram to see like is she going places, whatever.
Is she disinfecting
anyway, so
her
he's like
hand?
30 minutes. And it wasn't perfect. Like after I've seen some of the pictures released, I was like, is this going to be okay? So I don't know what it's going to look like, guys. I'm
sure.
sorry, but I just really needed like, this is my makeup job. And I was like, I need better just in case. So we'll see what it looks like.
I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous. All right, let's see. I'll get like, okay.
I didn't
like
do my
this.
hair.
You
I
didn't do
like,
You
I
did
had
do your hair.
goddess braids in, so I basically put them in a bun. So my
I saw
hair
that.
was,
It looks cute.
yeah.
Okay, Andrea Harris. Hey, baby. She said, how do you keep so positive in such a catty atmosphere? That's a good question.
You know what? I just feel like I'm grateful and blessed that I have a lot of other stuff that keeps me grounded and happy. So that really, really helps. And I think this is part of like why I love being a friend. Like I have not really dived deep into like needing to define myself by my role or this, but that's not really my personality anyways. Like people are always like, oh my gosh, why are you married? Why are you not married? I'm like, those labels don't matter to me. It just matters like how I feel in my soul and my this, and they never have. Yeah. So I think that I just continue to like expand that to other parts of my life, like my role on the show, other things like that. So it's like how you feel every day, and I'm grateful for it. Like I am very grateful for it, and I'm very protective of that.
Absolutely. Everybody said you are so genuine. It's so evident, so positive, very innocent. True. Okay. So I have a little game.
Ooh.
It is called Fun Shade.
Oh, Danielle.
Fun Shade or Shade. Now, I feel like your homegirl Portia really coined the term fun shade, right? So fun shade is like lighthearted, shade is like messy, C-U-N-T, that's shade. So I have a couple of quotes from the seasons, and I want you to tell me, is it fun shade or shade? This is an easy one. Okay. This was Dwight several seasons ago on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He said, a fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. He was talking about Sheree. Sheree. Shade or fun shade?
Okay, let me just picture it. He's like, a fashion show with no
fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful.
I mean, that's shade. Because she was she doing a fashion show? I don't exactly.
She was doing a fashion show, but like he said, it wasn't really fashion. It was
okay, so that feels like shade, right?
It was shade. Okay. Here's one. This is your girl, Portia. I have a Todd. So this is back in the day before Portia was engaged. I have a Todd and Candy has a Todd. I think I'll call him Toddler because he's little and cute. Fun shade or shade?
Fun shade. Come on. I just belly laughed. Fun shade. That's right? Cute. That is hilarious, guys.
Girl. Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't know who said this one. You tell me who said this one. Listen, I might have something on her. It was a phone charger and a wig.
Me!
Will you take it to her or what? Is that fun shade or shade?
It was fun shade that obviously, like, I don't know. But that was totally fun shade, guys. I was like, hee.
It was like, hee. Look at the wig.
Yeah. Woo. In my opinion, anyways.
Okay. Let's see. Here's a good one. This is a classic. While you were running your mouth, I was running to the bank, sweetie, and depositing a Trump check. Donald Trump. I am rich. I am very rich, bitch. Is that fun shade or shade? That's Nene Leakes, of course.
Who was she talking to? Okay. I feel like I need more context.
Okay, so here's the context. They were having this argument. They were drinking wine, and they were talking about Sheree was working with Tyrone, right? And they were trying to put together an event. And Sheree said that Nene was trying to basically tell Tyrone not to work with her. And she was saying, I don't need the
fun shade. Like, here's the thing. I feel like when fun shade is just like, you're just trying to be like a snappy reader. Like